Last week, the stock market fell after Jerome Powell shared some remarks about what the Fed is planning to do to continue fighting inflation. The S&P 500 fell about 3% and the Nasdaq about 4%. So this may bring good buying opportunities for us dividend investors going into September. However, before I share what I'm planning to buy, I'm going to go over what dividends I received throughout August, what stocks I purchased throughout the month, and what I'm expected to receive in September. So let's jump into it. Eddie V here, sharing my investing journey with the hopes of inspiring you to start growing your wealth. Let's jump into my dividend portfolio. Over in No1 Finance, this is the brokerage I use for my dividend investing. If you're interested in opening an account with them, I have a referral link down in the description. So the current value of my portfolio is $7,196.78. My overall gain is a negative $422.03. My overall return is a negative 12.34%. And within this last month, I have a negative return of $190.44 and a negative return of 2.66%. Over here, looking at my top 3 holdings, we have Lockheed Martin with a return of 17.44%. We have AbbVie with a return of 16.87% and Pepsi with a return of 9.19%. And that'll leave us with these 3 on the bottom, which is Intel with a negative return of 27.73%, Verizon with a negative return of 23.5%, and Stag with a negative return of 18.5%. Moving on to the dividends I received throughout August. So on August 1st, I received 3 different dividends. The first being from AT&T, ticker symbol T. And for just above 3 shares of AT&T, I received 55 cents. So over here in Seeking Alpha, from the beginning of the year, AT&T has fallen just above 7%. And from the last 30 days, AT&T has fallen just above 5%. That brings to a current share price of $17.82. So they are trading very close to their 52-week low, which was $16.63. And they have a market cap of $126 billion, trading with a PE of 7. Looking at dividend stats, we have a dividend yield of 6.24%. That'll give you an annual payout of $1.11 with a payout ratio just above 51%. And they have a negative growth rate for the last 5 years right now due to the spinoff. And also due to the spinoff, they have no dividend growth. Next dividend received on August 1st was from Verizon, ticker symbol VZ. And for the 2 shares I own of Verizon, I received $1.38. For the start of the year, Verizon has fallen just about 19%. And for the last month, it has fallen just about 8%, leaving them with the current share price of $42.53. And now bringing them pretty much at their 52-week low of $42.50. They have a current market cap of $181 billion and a trading at a PE of 8.37. They have a dividend yield of 5.91%, which will give you $2.56 annually. And they have a payout ratio just above 47% with a growth rate for the last 5 years of 2.08%, and they've been growing that dividend for the last 17 years. Third dividend received on August 1st was from JP Morgan, ticker symbol JPM, and traditionally it was on July 31st, but since that was a Sunday, it got rolled over to August 1st. So for the 3 shares I own in JP Morgan, I received $3.06. For the start of the year, JP Morgan has fallen just above 29%. However, within this last month, it has grown about 0.5%. So I'll bring it to a current share price of $114.41. And they're trading very close to their 52-week low, which was $106.09. They have a current market cap of $335 billion and are trading at a PE of 10.26. Their dividend yield is 3.5%. And I'll give you an annual payout of $4. Their payout ratio is 32.60%. And for the last 5 years, their growth rate is 15.33%. And they've been growing that dividend consistently for the last 7 years. Moving right along to August 3rd, I received a dividend payout from Lowe's, ticker symbol LOW. And for the 4 shares I own of Lowe's, I received $4.23. Throughout this year, Lowe's has fallen 22.81%. However, within this last month, they have grown 1.38%, bringing them to a current share price of $197.22. A couple months ago, it was trading about $30 less. So that'll bring them close to their 52-week low, which was $170.12. And around that price is when I was picking up some shares of Lowe's. Right down here, the market cap is $124 billion, and they are now trading at a PE of 14.9. The dividend yield for Lowe's currently is 2.09%, and I'll give you $4.20 annually. Their payout ratio is just above 27%, and they've been growing that dividend at a rate of 18.77% for the last 5 years, and have consistently grown that dividend for the last 58 years, making them a dividend king. Coming into August 15th, I received 3 more dividends. The first being from Realty Income, ticker symbol O, and for the 2 shares of Realty Income that I own, I received 48 cents. For the start of the year, Realty Income has fallen 3.13% and has continued to fall throughout this last month of 6.33%. That'll bring it to a current share price of $68.97. They are still trading about midpoint of their 52-week range. They have a current market cap of $43 billion, and they're trading at a price to funds from operation of 17.41. They have a current dividend yield of 4.24%, and I'll give you annual payout of $2.97. We're going to skip over this payout ratio because it doesn't apply to REITs. They've been growing their dividend at a rate of 3.83% for the last 5 years, and they've been growing that dividend consistently for the last 25 years, making them a dividend aristocrat. Second REIT that I own is none other than Stag, ticker symbol STAG, and for the 10.5 shares of Stag that I own, I received $1.29. So from the start of the year, Stag has fallen 23.5%, and for the last month, it has fallen 3.7%. Bringing them to a current share price of $31.26, and they are pretty much at their 52-week low of $29.43. They have a current market cap of $5 billion, and they are trading at a price to funds from operation of 14.59. Their current dividend yield is 4.58%, which will give you an annual payout of $1.46. We're going to skip over that payout ratio, looking at their 5-year growth rate of 0.82%, which is not the greatest. And then they've been growing that dividend consistently for the last 10 years. Now, the third stock I received on August 15th was from AbbVie, ticker symbol ABBV. And for the 1 share of AbbVie that I own, I received $1.44. Now, from the start of the year, AbbVie has grown 0.1%, and within the last month, it has fallen 3.28%, bringing them to a current share price of $135.55. So they are slightly below their midpoint of their 52-week range, and they have a current market cap of $239 billion and trading at a PE of 9.79. They have a current dividend yield of 4.16%. That will give you an annual payout of $5.64. They have a payout ratio of pretty much 42%. And for the last 5 years, they have been growing that dividend at a rate of 17.46% and have consistently grown that dividend for the last 8 years. On August 19th, I received a dividend from Caterpillar, ticker symbol CAT, and for the 0.33 shares that I own of Caterpillar, I received 40 cents. Now, from the start of the year, Caterpillar has fallen 9.69%, and from the last 30 days, it has fallen just about 5%, bringing them to a current share price of $186.94. So they are fairly close to their 52-week low, which was $167. And when it was around 170, 175, I was considering adding to it, but missed my shot there. They have a current market cap of $181 billion and are trading at a PE 15.29. They have a current dividend yield of 2.5%. That will give you an annual payout of $4.80. Their payout ratio is 39.70%. And for the last 5 years, they've been growing at a rate of 7.95%. And they've been growing that dividend consistently for the last 28 years, making them also a dividend aristocrat. Now, for the last dividend I received in the month of August was from Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX. And for the 8.87 shares that I own of Starbucks, I received $4.35. So from the start of the year, Starbucks has fallen 28.5%. And within this last month, it has fallen 1.81%, bringing them to a current share price of $83.41. So they are close to their 52-week low, which was $68.39, and they have a current market cap, $96 billion, trading currently at a PE of 29.26, so pretty much at the premium right now where it stands. Starbucks has a current dividend yield of 2.33%. That'll give you an annual payout of $1.96. They have a payout ratio just above 62%, and they've been growing that dividend at a rate of 14.41% for the last 5 years, and they have consistently grown that dividend for the last 11 years. That brings me to a total of $17.18 for the month of August. If you've been enjoying this content so far, let me know by smashing the like button. And also, while you're down there, let me know what your biggest payout was in the month of August. Moving right along to the stocks that I purchased throughout the month of August. There was a handful of them, but the two that I mainly focused on was Johnson & Johnson and Bank of America. So for Johnson & Johnson, I put in about $150 and got 0.9 shares. And for Bank of America, I put in about $85 and got 2.4 shares. Along with Bank of America, I also put a little bit into JP Morgan. So for $50, I got 0.4 shares of JP Morgan. And I did get just about 1 share of Intel for $35. Also looked at Stag. So for $30, I got 0.8 shares of Stag. And the last two that I purchased in the month of August was Best Buy. I put in $30 and got about 0.38 shares of Best Buy, and put in $20 for AT&T and got just above 1 share. So that brings me to a total of $400 that I spent on stocks in the month of August. Now looking at what dividends I'm going to receive in the month of September, I'm over here in Dividend Tracker, and this is a great platform for keeping track of your whole portfolio and also seeing what your dividend payouts will be in the future. And you also can do different stock research with different fundamentals, and they also give you a dividend safety grade. So if you're interested in opening an account with Dividend Tracker, there's a paid and a free version. I have a referral link down in the description. So for September, I'm expected to receive a large amount of dividends this month. And starting off, we have Broadcom, ticker symbol AVGO. And for the 0.4 shares that I own, I'll receive $1.67. For Bank of America, ticker symbol BAC, I have just above 12 shares, and I'll expecting to receive $2.71. Scrolling down here, next three are Duke Energies, and I have about half a share of Duke Energy, and I'll get 58 cents. For Intel, I have just about 6 shares of Intel, so I'll get $2.23. And for Johnson & Johnson, I have almost 4 shares of Johnson & Johnson, so I'll expect to receive $4.25. Scrolling down once again, for the 0.8 shares that I own of Lockheed Martin, I'll receive $2.27. Now, if Lockheed Martin's stock price drops close to the low 400s, I'll probably be buying more of that. But right now, still holding out because too expensive. Right here, we have 3M, ticker symbol MMM. And for the 2 shares of 3M that I own, I'll receive $2.98. Next, Era Energies. And for the 0.77 shares that I own, I'll receive 33 cents. I'm going to scroll down once again. We have Realty Income, ticker symbol O. And I own just about 2 shares of Realty Income, so I'll once again receive 48 cents. And then we have Pepsi. I own just above 1 share of Pepsi, so I'll get $1.48. And then we have Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. And for the 1.7 shares of Pfizer that I own, I'll receive 71 cents. And we have Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM. I have almost 2 shares of Qualcomm, so I'll get $1.34. Scrolling down once again. And for my second monthly dividend payer, Stag, ticker symbol STAG, I have about 11.5 shares of Stag, so I'll receive $1.40. And the very last dividend payout I'll receive is from Target, ticker symbol TGT. And for the 4.74 shares of Target that I own, I'll receive $5.12. So that'll bring me up to a total of $27.54. Going into September, I do have a handful of stocks I want to focus on. I'm going to continue growing my position in Johnson & Johnson. Lately, within the last month, it has fallen about 6.5%. I want to continue growing while the stock price is decreasing and just dollar cost averaging in them. Also, I'm looking at Stanley Black & Decker, ticker symbol SWK, and this would be a new position into my portfolio. They have been falling about 9% the last month and are now trading underneath $90, so I think it's a good time to buy it at a good value. Over in Best Buy, I'm planning to pick up at least 2 more shares of Best Buy. My current average share price is $88, so I want a dollar cost average down while it's still in the low 70s. Now, as usual, I do have my eye on Apple and also Microsoft. Right now, I think it's a little overpriced. I would like to see it come back maybe to the 130s, and I'll probably bite the bullet there. But I am going to keep it on my watch list for now, along with Microsoft. You can see here, Apple is around that 160, and looking at Microsoft, it's around the 262. So those have been on my watch list for a while now, and I'll just keep my eye on them for them to come down into a more reasonable price range. That was my portfolio update for the month of August. If you're looking for some stocks to add to your portfolio in the month of September, check out my latest video, the top 4 REITs to buy now. And if you're looking for more portfolio updates, check out my playlist right over here. Catch you next video. Peace.